talking about musicians and cool things and stuff. It's the Holly and Josh Show.
Hello!
Sorry, I'm like a balloon today.
Oh, we've delved to that level of radio that now we're doing fart
we're doing
gags.
fart jokes, of course. Welcome to the Harley and Josh Show, where it doesn't get any better than that.
It definitely won't.
Your music podcast by musicians. We've got some amazing new music.
Please pronounce it, I can't.
Doiglist from our quiet friend.
Yes.
Also, we've got new Ghosts of Men single, which came out last month.
Or Goats of Men, if you saw their advert for the latest release.
Goats of Men.
It's just a goat.
You've given it to yourself like a scapegoat.
It's Escape Ghost.
Yeah, Escape Ghost, nice. And we've got some Impilo.
Yeah, nice.
What? Amazing. Do you know the story about Scapegoat?
No, but well, I have heard it, but I've forgotten it. Tell me.
It's basically like back in medieval times, people would have a goat, and they would basically spend like a couple of weeks maybe confessing their sins to it, and just sort of like telling a goat like what they've done wrong in life. It's like, I cheated on my husband, or like, I killed a guy, and then
one or the other.
And they would just parade this goat through town, and people would just lob stuff at it, and just be like, I hate you, goat.
Poor little boy.
I know, this little goat.
Oh,
and they would
little
choose
cute.
goats to do it that would look shifty. They would choose the shiftiest goat to do it, so people are like, devil goat.
I would surmise that all goats look a bit shifty.
Yeah.
However,
Sideways eyes, isn't it?
honestly, like I think they're my spirit animal.
You're a shifty goat.
They're cute, they've got a bit of face fluff, but they also are they're a little bit vicious out of the blue. There's just nothing, they were just like, hey, and then just headbutt you. I remember going
Yeah,
to...
you've headbutted me multiple times.
I have, yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. What'd you do? Musically, you goat.
So I've had a busy week of headbutting a lot of people.
Good.
I'm working on the growing horns thing.
On brand.
Not very good at it.
No, you're not a horn player, you're a bass player.
Oh man, growing horns. Just imagine like
I've got
a couple of trumpet players off a tree.
There you go. Freshly picked.
There is a trumpet plant, isn't there?
Yeah. It looks a bit like a saxophone, doesn't it?
Yeah,
The-
like it's got the
Victory Bell.
Is that what it's called?
No, that's the Pokemon version of it.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Pokemon. I might be thinking of the Pokemon.
You get this, you've been playing too much of the app.
Yeah, that's very much a thing. Let me just put it on.
want to know what you've been doing, Harley, apart from headbutting people.
It's been a right week. It's been good. I've just realised this. I don't know if you on the Trello. Once you've finished an event, it deletes it off your past thing. So I'm looking at my diary and thinking, what did I do last week? And it's saying nothing.
Nothing. So for anybody that doesn't quite know, Trello is it's a
project management.
Project managing,
Productivity.
It's a word that helps you to just sort of plan events and things like that. We talked about it on the show before.
Yeah.
So just keep your ears open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, if I don't know by now.
Are you still using Trello?
Yes, I am still using Trello. I probably use it differently to you because you can change. Yeah, you can sort of work it how you want to. So I'd be interested to see how you use it. Actually, see if I can
maybe
do
we'll
better.
like compare notes afterwards.
Mate, yeah,
That's the good stuff.
God, that's really exciting.
Oh yeah, this is peak
It
adult.
Gets no better than this,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Here we
fart
are.
jokes and apps, or an app that is a fart.
Oh, wow. So yeah, I've been doing a few bits here and there. Was it last week I went to London? No, that was a week before. I've already talked about that.
News.
Let's just skip to the weekend. So Friday, I had a nice long drive to Salisbury with Chart Attack.
Oh,
So-
steak times.
Yeah, we've it was a bit of a sketchy time. We had first song to learn, which was nice and simple, but we had a few extra songs to learn because the couple had requested no Bruno Mars, no Stevie Wonder.
Right.
And that's half a set for us. That's literally half of a set.
Why no? One of those.
They just neither of them are fans of either, really. So, which is fair. We cater to all, it's actually worked out really good for us because we were like, well, we need to learn loads of new songs because we need a longer set. We've got now a roster of about 50 songs. I'd like to get us to about 60, but as we keep adding songs, there are songs that we'd like to take out. So it's always a bit of a two step forwards, one step backwards, and building that set up. But
Yeah,
gigs
as
like
more
this,
and more artists seem to come out with, with
Yeah.
horrible allegations against them. So
potentially, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we've slowly building up our set, and we got to a really good level where we can. Someone says, "Oh, can you not do that artist or those two artists that you play that contrive of most of your first set?" You know.
Yeah.
And we went, "Yeah, we can do that. It's fine.
Nice.
No problem." It was a bit of a mad dash to get everything. To get out of the door, we had to leave at 12 o'clock to get there for 5. It sounds long-winded, but picking everybody up, making sure we got everything in place, and we've got time to eat was a thing.
Yeah, that is.
Oh.
Which we'll be talking about later.
Hey,
We didn't
spoiler
tell them
alert.
what we're talking about later, did we?
Well, you just did.
Oh, we're going to be talking about what to eat before gigs.
Here we go.
But in an interesting way.
Yeah, like
Not
yeah.
like, I had a McBagel.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got there. It was a brand new venue in I can't remember the exact town. We had to go past a tank crossing to get
Oh,
there.
yes. Yeah, there's a lot of those, isn't there?
Yeah, that
You're like,
was cool.
there's never a tank, though.
No, that's the best part of a tank crossing is the tank.
The tank crosses there.
Yeah. But you'd love this.
Uh-oh.
We turned up, plugs all along the back, loads of plugs, and I was
Great.
like, yes,
Thank you.
this is nice. We were warned about beforehand, however, there was a noise limiter.
Oh.
And then she said, the events manager came up to us and he goes, I'm really sorry. You can't use any of the plugs on the back.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because the noise limiter's broken and sets off really low.
Oh.
And we're like, okay. So she fed us 2 feeds, one for each side of the stage, and we had no noise limiter.
Amazing.
To anyone who doesn't know what noise limiter is, it happens in venues where there are residential homes nearby and where they've had noise complaints in the past, where if the volume reaches a certain level, cuts off the power to the stage, which is really annoying and really dangerous for amplifiers as well.
Yeah, it
valve
is.
amps, like it happened
Digital
with me.
desks as well. If you've just
Yes.
saved a scene on your
Yeah.
desk and then suddenly the power cuts out and it's not saved.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're a digital desk, then basically you can recall it all. So the
Yeah.
levels are exactly the same, the EQs are the same, the compression's all the same. But suddenly if the power cuts out, then that's gone.
Yeah.
And you have to redo your sound check.
Yes. We were really lucky because, well, generally we're lucky with our desk that if you turn it off when you turn it on, it saves to its last known settings, but you still will then have to connect it to the Wi-Fi, and that can take a bit of time.
Yeah.
But luckily, we didn't have that as a problem. And
Good.
apparently the noise limit was set so low that for the entire part of our set, it was all the way onto the 4 bars red.
Wow.
It was really low. I mean, to the point the crowd were applauding afterwards, and that would have been setting off the sound limiter. So they were like, yeah, it's not right. So just but they said, well, keep the noise down if you can. We did. We kept as quiet as we possibly could. It was only like an 80-person wedding, nothing too
Right,
massive.
yeah,
So and it was just a really good set. It was really good fun. We felt really good afterwards. And Elliot turned to us at the end of the set and goes, I think this is possibly one of the best we've played.
Wow.
Like, we were really tight. And Elliot's got quite a high threshold of what is good, which is good for someone who's leading the band because he knows when it's right.
Yeah.
When it's right, it's right. So it was a bit of a compliment from him to go, yeah, thumbs up, guys, well done.
Nice.
But we were really happy after that. We drove home straight off, got home at like 5 in the morning, which made my lesson
That's
at
painful.
midday a little bit difficult.
Oh, my
but
goodness.
it was all right.
Good.
It was a 3-gig weekend for me, wasn't it?
Well done.
Yeah, so Saturday night, I was at the Half Moon, which is great for me. It's literally down the road from my house.
Good.
Don't stalk me, please. Half Moon
Just me.
in Walton. They do a beer festival
Yeah.
around September every year. I think they do 2 beer festivals, actually. One in May, one September, I believe.
Double vision.
And it's great. It's quite funny because Mary, bless her, the landlady, doesn't drink like real ales and beers and stuff. That's not her thing. So I turned up. I went, Mary, what's good? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, didn't you pick them? She's like, yeah, I just got the regulars to pick what they think was good. And I was like, see, I just picked the ones with the funniest names. She was like, yeah, I've done that in the past and it does work, but
They're also awful sometimes.
yeah, you got to get some professional help. So luckily, she works in a pub.
Professional by being drunks.
Well, they have a lot of camera enthusiasts
Nice.
and stuff, as in campaign for real ale, not
Yeah.
like photographers.
Yeah, camera enthusiasts. They were great with beer.
Yeah. So
Always
it was
blurry
great.
pictures.
We did quite a long second set. So we did like a 45 and then like an hour and a half on the second set to kind of keep things going all the way to the end. And it was good fun. Like it's the classic Oddball and Shifty Twins show. We had a lot of banter with the crowd. We had a lot of people heckling us in the way that we really like. And the sound, we just got really good.
Nice.
I think Oliver's got a new guitar and it really is nice. It's a Chapman.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like the Telecaster style
Yeah.
Chapman 2-humbucker. And it's just really tight and it's nice and full, but there's still loads of space for where the bass sits around
Good,
it.
yeah.
And it just got the right level of silly, and all hilarities ensued. It was great. And
Which one were you? Were you Oddball or were you one of the Shifty Twins on that gig?
can't you tell?
I wasn't there.
I got to be honest, a little bit offended that you don't know who the twins are.
But you
anyway,
change it every gig.
it's an interesting thing actually. We don't actually tell anyone who's the oddball and who's the Shifty Twins. We leave it up to them. But when Mary texted me and said, "So what sort of music is it?" Because it's not often you get a gig from someone just going, "You play in a band," but because where I drink, she's like, "I know you're good because you've played here with Chart Attack, whatever. You can find a band, yeah, great." And I said, "Yep, we'll do that." And she's like, "What sort of stuff is Oddball?" And I said, "I find the poster."
Oh, here we go.
Because I didn't realise she was going to put this on the poster.
Right. Oh, no. Yeah, just assume that everything that's going on there can be.
Yeah. So she just texted me and I text back going, "Classic rock, good vibes, silly solos, and a weird pirate drummer." And then that went on the
Good.
on the poster.
Good.
And Dan was like,
Thanks, man.
"Why'd you put that?" I'm like, "Have you seen yourself lately? You look like a pirate. Sometimes you dress like a pirate."
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he rocks it. He
On
rocks it hard.
purpose, so that's good.
Yeah. So, there were a lot of pirate references as well throughout the evening, and it was great because you had people turning up just going, "We just came to see the pirate drummer,"
Yeah.
and which was really good. And
Nice.
great vibes.
More of that.
The great thing was it was the end of my road, so I left my stuff there. Carried on drinking, had a lot of time, tried a few of the ales as well. There's some really good ones. I was going by numbers. I can't remember the names of any of them.
Good. So numbers of how many you had.
Yeah, and then
I've
picked...
had 5 of that one, so it must be good.
and then I picked some
Drink
stuff up in the
responsibly.
morning, which
Nice.
was nice and easy. I mean, so nice and easy. I woke up at like 11:30 and just strolled down there slowly. And as I got there, the back porch band was setting up for their gig.
Oh, great, yeah.
So
The
it was
classics.
good to see those guys and have a little chat as well. And then I had to kind of move some stuff around and get ready for my gig in the evening, which was with Hoppy and the Hopefuls. We had Tim Ainsley on guitar,
Yeah.
who did great, had some really cool chops, different to yourself. It was really interesting to hear a different sort of form of those songs.
Yeah.
Because all the gigs we've done with the Hopefuls have been with you. Mm-hmm. So to have another guitarist who's got a very different style from yourself.
You can say he's better, it's fine.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that at all. But you're just from different colour palettes. And it was really, really cool just to see how different things can sound, you know. It was great. Interesting story, actually.
Oh.
I was...
Here we go to Harley's interesting story corner.
went to go swap some stuff around in the van because I didn't need all the stuff I needed from Saturday night. I was only going down the road, so I didn't load it particularly well.
Oh.
And I hit a pothole on the way, which kind of toppled one of my subs that went through my window.
Oh, no.
Smashed me window. I was a little bit upset.
And now you're the guy with the bin bag for a window.
I'm bin bag window guy.
You're bin bag window guy.
Hashtag bin bag window guy.
Everything's going. If you see somebody with a bin bag window, you're like, everything's going wrong in your life, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was the straw that broke the
I don't know if
camel's
that's an
window.
existing hashtag, but if it isn't, just post saying, just do a tweet just saying hashtag bin bag window guy. And I know you're listening.
Yeah. We feel you.
I want to try and get one in at least one other continent. So if you're over in the States, hashtag bin bag window guy.
Yeah, go on.
And send a picture of the
Your bin bag
podcast.
window.
Screenshot the podcast and be like, well, I'm listening to this.
Yeah.
Hashtag bin bag window guy. Yeah, so that was a bit annoying. Luckily, I've got 2 vans.
Nice.
So I swapped stuff around, put everything in the old van. The more it takes me to like sell that van, the more I'm thinking I can't. I just got to keep
you
it.
need it.
It's so useful.
Harley, I want to know something.
What?
What was the highlight of your musical weekend?
Oh, there was so much. I think for me it was the Oddball gig because we don't gig with Oddball. that often, and it was just silly. It was great fun.
good.
I mean, to be honest, actually, I'm going to say gigging with Dan Dolman in general, it's always a pleasure. Always a
That
pleasure.
is good. And one more thing.
Yes.
If there is one particular thing that you have learned this weekend, what would it be
What
that
have I
you could give people?
Always strap your stuff down in the van.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. Load responsibly. Remember that glass isn't as strong as you think it might be.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it's a great piece of advice because gear moves around and I've had a lot of gear break in the back of my van if I haven't strapped it down.
Yeah.
Which is most of the time. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just listen to your advice. So
We'll get some ratchet straps after this.
Ratchet and Clanks.
Hey.
So this is a brand new single, ladies and gentlemen. It's only been out a couple weeks by the wonderful Goats of Me. Oh, sorry, Goats of Men. No, Men Goat. Man Goats.
Man goats.
They're well done, Man
They
Goats.
are. Chris is it Chris?
No,
He's got a beard.
Pete.
He's got Pete.
Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a beard, isn't he?
Yeah, Cleggy.
Yeah.
He's a goaty Clegg. So yeah, right, okay. So you guys are gonna love this. This one's called I See You. Check it out on Ghosts of Men's Facebook page. There's a link to it. All over Spotify, all over iTunes. I'm gonna get it going. Love you guys. Enjoy yourselves.
You had it, I see it, I just can't quite believe it. I hope it stirred things up in you. You took it, I broke it, take care, try not to choke it. I remember when it was new. I'm breathing, you're feeding, you've done it now, I'm leaving, I'm doing it.
That was I See You. It's three letters.
Yeah.
By Ghosts of Men. Oh, sorry, Goats of
Goat to me.
me. They're playing this weekend in Colchester with Horrible Dolphins, so that's an amazing lineup.
Yeah.
So stick around for the gig list
Nice.
at the end. So I've been doing things.
Whoa.
What?
I'm working on a new jingle.
Oh, are you? Go on. Oh, I'm so excited.
Josh, what did you do?
Oh, wow. You vamped that, didn't you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're like, I'm working on something. I've got it out now. There it is. Yeah,
there we go.
Good. Actually, one of my students does that. Every single time, like he's this really excitable little kid from year 4, and he was year 3, now he's year 4, so he's 8, and he says at the end of every lesson he goes, Josh, you know,
Is it Bronwyn?
but yes, yeah, no, and he basically said, I wrote a song. I've been writing a song, and I mean, it's not quite finished yet, but I really want to show you guys the song. And I'm like, okay, go on, off you go, Tommy. And he just plays random notes. He just goes, it's a work in progress. So
I mean, I guess it is a work in
I'm
progress.
just like, every time I'm like, I encourage it. I'm just like, oh, cool, yeah, go home and put an actual chord on it, maybe. Anyway, so last week, I've been doing, it's the end of my school holidays. As I'm back teaching this week. I'm back at Moreland tomorrow, so I've been making the most of my time with writing stuff over this summer, mostly for the Lockabillys. I've been writing a lot of like straight up rockabilly tracks, which has been really fun. For the last album, I was sort of dabbling on lots of different styles around rockabilly, but not really sticking to specific rockabilly. So this album is going to be very much straight down the middle. If you like your rockabilly,
Nice.
you're going to love this.
Rightio.
We're going to be slowly releasing it after we've actually properly practiced them and gigged them. Really been loving it. I've been merging them in with my concept album idea. So adding sort of, you know, all the lyrics telling stories, but also making them catchy is quite a difficult thing. So I've been trying to tell the story through, you know, chants and repetitive lyrics that people can latch onto, as well as make sense of a wider picture. So it's been really good in kind of a technique to go into. What's been great about that is a lot of the time I'll just be sitting there listening to loads and loads of rockabilly, from Charlie Feathers to Johnny Burnett, and just thinking about the style, the techniques they're using on guitar. So what I'll do is I'll just sit there and I will just practice and transcribe a lot of rockabilly techniques, put them into my own fingerings that I'm kind of used to, because a lot of guitarists use different fingers than each other for different jobs.
Of course, yeah.
And like I like to pick my nose with my first finger, mostly while I'm playing. So
I'm a second finger guy.
Oh, all right, yeah, I see what you mean. Hey,
yeah, everyone.
Facts. Bringing it back. So yeah, like it was really great to just kind of practice these techniques and then use them to write a song. So I'd be like, okay, so there's this great little solo in a Gene Vincent song that goes and then it carries on with the improvisation. And I'm like, I could write a whole song with just that bit. Just bad it, and bat. It really works. So yeah, just from practicing techniques, you can write songs. And I've set myself a thing every day. When I'm not teaching, is that at 1 o'clock I practice a new technique and go over new techniques that I've just been learning, and then at 2 o'clock I write using those techniques. So it's kind of trying to use it in a kind of abstract sense and in a practical sense. So it's thinking about how you can apply it to your playing and then also apply it to the songs you write. I think that it makes techniques on your instrument so much more relevant when
it's good that if you write with a technique rather than use that technique on an already existing song, or like try and shoehorn it into it makes you kind of really understand the technique or the phrasing or whatever.
You hope so, right? So you're trying different styles. I've also been writing a lot of pirate songs for the Buccaneers. It's been really fun. So I want to thank everybody that's been helping me out, because I've been looking for local historic stories to turn into pirate songs, and it's been really, really fun. You helped me out with one.
Oh yes,
the Oak Island Mysteries?
Yes,
which was really fun in Canada. It's Nova Scotia, isn't it? Just off the coast of Nova Scotia.
I couldn't remember where it was, but yeah,
that's it. It was about Captain Kidd's treasure and maybe the Holy Grail. If you guys are interested in that, there was a discovery in the 1790s, which they found the money pit, and they're still digging for it now. Yeah. So yeah, check that out. But it's been really great to write using that style, because it's more like Pogues, Flogging Molly, with a little bit of sort of the Dubliners in there. So there's Irish influences and a lot more European style folk rather than Americana and Western country music. So yeah, that's been a nice departure from a lot of the stuff that I've been playing for. Obviously, amazing. I'm playing mandolin in that band and a lot of ukulele.
Of course, yeah.
And Tom plays banjo, so I'm trying to be writing stuff, not that he could play, but just stuff that he could do better than me, if that makes sense.
He could make something that works.
Yeah,
banjolili.
Exactly. So I'd be like, this is an interesting type part. If you could do something in this vein, that'd be great. Yeah. So that's been making me practice mandolin and banjo a lot more, and it's so good to practice different instruments that are similar to yours, because I mean guitar, banjo, mandolin, and ukulele as well, they are in the similar vein, but the tuning's completely different, the string types are completely different, the intervals between the strings, so where your finger placement for a specific type of chord or a major or minor is going to be completely different. So it really does force you to think more while you're playing, because you're kind of unlearning something. It's the same as a new language. If you learn Italian and Spanish, they're still Latin languages, and there are so many words that are very similar, but they mean completely different things. So it's exactly the same. So if you are a string player, I really recommend you trying out a different one. So I was doing a bit of that. I also had a Goofy Dust gig. Goofy Dust. Goofy Dust. Goofy Dust. That sounds like that dirty Disney character. I've got Goofy Dust. So yeah, that was at the Louis Marchese in Norwich with Goofy Dust for Fine City Blues. That was really good. So that was last Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
Actually do.
It's nice to do a Thursday night gig.
Yes, Thursday night gigs. It was in the middle of Norwich, which is very hard to park in. But it was just such a beautiful... It was in the middle of Tombland as well. Right. So Tombland, if anybody guys don't know what that is, it's just a really old part of Norwich where there's all these cobbled streets and these, houses that are, from the 1500s, sort of just towering over the road. And you think, if you go past there in a van, you're going to knock off the second floor, But it's a wonderful part of town. With really old lamps. So beautiful.
Did you find any inspiration from that kind of thing of the sort of the old timey music? Did you find yourself going, "Oh,
yeah"? Yeah, I was sort of it's very misty down there at that point. So yeah, it was quite
the Pokemon.
evocative. But they got this great thing in the Louis Marchese. I'd never been there before. Really old pub. They had us upstairs, and downstairs they had another band on, and the place was rammed. It was not rammed, but I mean it was a Thursday night, and there were at least 50 people at each gig.
Well, that's great.
Which is amazing on a Thursday night. And downstairs was an amazing venue.
Yeah.
So check out the Louis Marchese. It's called the Crypt downstairs.
Right.
And
Oh,
it
that sounds...
looks like a crypt. It looks like some the sort of the nook of an old church.
Yeah.
And it's got these really sort of diamond shapes all over the place. And yeah, it looks like it should be a stained glass window in there. But yeah, you should check it out. We might talk about this in a bit, but I'm not sure we should open it up now. I don't know. Are we going to talk about the school yet?
We
probably should if we should have been.
Yeah.
So
Go on in.
there is. So if anybody's been looking for a new rock project,
Yeah.
there's stuff moving right now, and it's moving very quickly. Looking like at the end of this month, we're going to be doing something. So we haven't completely settled on a name yet, but it's a lot of the same team.
Yeah.
And well, I'm making it sound like we've done most of the work. It's been Ashley Howard.
Yes, I literally just missed a call from him, so he's really getting it going,
really sorting it out.
It looks like it's going to be even better than it was.
Yes, exactly. So if you are interested in getting performance and band tuition, or you just want to find out for your kid or whatever, please get in touch. You can message us via the Harley and Josh Show Facebook page, or find us on Twitter at Lockabillies or at Harley C.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be really fun. I played a wedding last weekend as well. So last Saturday I was at the Tannington House, another new wedding venue.
Right.
They'd only had sort of 5 weddings before. Beautiful old barn in the middle of the Suffolk countryside, right near Framlingham.
Great.
Sort of just the other side of Saxted. And really gorgeous, like lovely people. There were sort of a lot of the Wickham Market FC guys who we've played for at Party by the Pitch.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like their family band now. So I love
amazing.
it. It's really, really fun. So yeah, it was just, I knew a lot of the people there. A lot of the people there who I didn't know knew us. So there were this, sort of good requests. We got the father of the bride. No, the father of the groom came up and did Johnny Be Good with us, and he was in a kilt. So
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good, like you're a good boy. So yeah, that was a really nice little weekend actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you asked me, I'm going to ask you the
Go on
same
in.
thing. So what was your highlight of last week?
Highlight of last week. I'm gonna say. That is a very good question. Highlight. I got to see my auntie. She came down from Arizona.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I got to see her. I mean, that's not musical, but okay. My highlight is I wrote a song.
Go on.
My musical highlight is I wrote a song about pirate priests from Suffolk.
Ah, yes, because you were telling me about this when I popped by on Thursday,
So I'm going
wasn't
to
it?
mash that in with the second question.
Yeah. So what have you learnt?
What I learned
What have you learnt this
was
week?
that in the 11th century, there was a monastery in Minsmere, just north of Leiston, and there are records that show that these priests funded moving their abbey from the bog in Minsmere down to Leiston Abbey, which is still standing in the 1300s, with piracy. They were pirate priests. They went out and they stole ships. There was one ship they stole that was on the way to from Stephen Lefrere that was going to Dunwich. They stole it. They took it back to their little secret harbour, robbed all the stuff, and then the law found out about it and took the ship back, took it to Dunwich, and the priest just went to Dunwich and took it back again.
Oh, mate.
Google it. It's a thing.
You've got to admire their courage.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just the fearlessness.
Exactly. It's like, they serve the Lord, but not the Lords. So, yeah. All right.
I like that.
Yeah, there we go. So this is a new song called Doiglist by our quiet friends. They're from Norwich. They're playing locally soon at the John Peel Centre. Check out the gig list for when and when. All right. So the only lyrics in this song are this. I'm going to murder it. Doiglist yn ceg, grando moi nati siarad.
Oh.
Which is Welsh for 2 ears, 1 mouth, listen more than you talk. That was Doiglist by Our Quiet Friends. They're playing locally this weekend, so stick around for the gig list. That's available on all the different places that you can find good music. So let's get on to the music news. Patreon is thinking about giving its artists loans and healthcare. This week on Music News.
Oh,
There we go.
you've got a great voice.
You don't
for
get
radio.
that from the BBC, do you?
And no,
Somebody having a stroke halfway through.
I'm not going to finish that one.
No, stop it. There are no other radio stations available. It's just us. So this story I read from Ashley King on Digital Music News. This is really interesting. So on Patreon, what is Patreon, Harley?
So Patreon is basically a website where you can donate money to support essentially content creators online, whether that is people who build things or are just entertainment videos and stuff on. It's mostly YouTube based.
Yeah.
Just because YouTube is a great platform for people to share stuff, but it doesn't always bring in the right amount of income to be able to sustain that kind of things. So people can subscribe to Patreon and donate money to an artist or a producer that they enjoy.
Is it a one-time donation or is it a subscription fee?
It tends to be a monthly subscription, and it can be as low as, I think the bottom price is $1 a month.
Right.
I think it could be more than that.
Australian dollars, right?
American.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Isn't
that's
that
like another 20p difference. There we go. This is my
1,000
extensive knowledge of world currency.
Nice. Well, so the news is Patreon is considering new ways to provide capital funding and other financial services to artists. Other services on the table include healthcare and HR support. HR support being a big deal, really, because you know us in bands, we don't have an HR department.
No.
So if you do go to a venue and you are sexually assaulted, who are you going to report it to?
Yeah.
There's barely anybody. So anyway, CEO Jack Conte says that most platforms either exploit artists or are only or only marginally compensate them. So I think there's like this whole thing with Pledge Music has been a massive debacle that we've talked about on the show before, where artists haven't been paid, and the business went bust. But Conte also noted that platforms expressly built for creators aren't focused on creators. Instead, they're focused on bringing in advertising dollars.
Yeah.
But Conte is a musician himself, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So Patreon started out, I believe, there's I call them a YouTube band. Mm-hmm. So a band who started doing covers and stuff on YouTube called PLUSPLUS, which him and his wife do, and they produce
Natalie
some really
Dawn, her name is.
Nice one. They produce some really cool sort of covers and like interesting versions of stuff.
Kind of how Walk the Earth did it.
Yeah, a bit more classic musician instruments. They're less improvised instruments than that, but they just go for a different take on it and a different thing. Natalie's voice is really soft and really quite. Is it weird? I don't want to sound sexist, but she has a really cute voice, and I don't mean that in a like.
So
creepy
you're a
way.
man and you've got a cute voice, so
Yeah, I know. Like, oh no, it gets a bit. All right. That's weird.
Sorry.
So that went creepy. So I'm not going to use that word. Okay,
Good.
so but like I love the stuff they produce, and they wanted to sort of find a way that people could donate money, keep them going, because they were producing covers, and you don't always get monetized videos for that kind of stuff. So they started up Patreon. Then other YouTubers started to open accounts with them and do stuff like that. I have a couple of channels that I subscribe to on Patreon to support their stuff.
What made you want to support them?
I just really want them to keep making stuff.
Yeah. If you don't stand up, then
that's there's one that I contribute. It's like $5 Australian a month,
right.
And I get access. It's a podcast channel, and I get extra podcasts because I'm a subscriber.
Nice.
Which is great for that kind of stuff. But so they are coming from a musical point of view,
Yeah.
and so it's really good you know that this is coming from the right place because these people are on the ground.
They've had it. So
Yeah.
the thing is, lenders most of the time, when you're an artist, they want to see traditional pay stubs. So, like, if you're PAYE or whatever, if you want to get a loan for your business or for your YouTube channel or something like that to keep it running, but most artists don't have traditional pay stubs.
No.
They barely even have an Excel spreadsheet sometimes. So that quickly ends the possibility of a deal with a bank if you don't have anything to back up that you're earning. Conti says that his iTunes sales reports to the bank to verify his info, they didn't understand it. Basically, the banks and the lenders didn't really understand music royalties.
It's a new format that I guess these kind of banks are still kind of catching
they're not
up
quite
with.
used to the gig economy that we're kind of in as millennials. Anyway, Patreon will distribute over $500 million in funding to creators this year. Wow. 500 million. Patreon earnings compared to ad-supported earnings can be 50 to 100 times higher. So if you're a YouTube creator and you're getting most of your money from just the ads that, the ad payments, what's it called? Ad Smart or something? AdSense, that's it. It's on some line there. It was a wonky line. In some situations, that the Patreon just doubles it or 100 times it.
That's great.
So you can do better with that. Patreon also allows creators to have a more consistent relationship with its community while reaping the benefits of direct contributions. So you get a lot of feedback from your patrons.
Yeah.
Saying, I liked what you did this week. I've been, and I've been watching you for a year now. I would really enjoy it if you talked about this next week, or if you wrote a song about this, or if you, tried your hand at this, and you can go, okay, this is what my fans actually want. And if you hear it more than once, then you've got a consensus almost. Yeah. So there are certainly starving artists on Patreon, however, but at least it's a chance to improve on comically low royalty payments offered by platforms like Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're looking at giving artists loans and healthcare. I mean, this is an American site, so healthcare. They don't have an NHS, so they don't
very useful
have
for
health
those.
insurance a lot of the time if you're self-employed. And it was also talking about HR support. I mean, all three of those things we don't have. I mean, we've got a union in the UK.
And the British Musicians Union is very good for that kind of stuff. I don't know what the US equivalent is like.
I've forgotten what the name was. But, it only goes so far. The Musicians Union, what you get from your kind of constant contributions, there is still a limit. There's still an upper limit of what you can do. You can get your PLI from it, but, HR support and things like this, and I've had times in the past when I've reported things to the Musicians Union, they'd just be like, we don't give advice, we just pass you on to somebody else. I'm like, what do you mean? That's twice that's happened. I'm like, okay, but maybe if you are going through a private firm like Patreon, they might have some money in there, and
it's worth just advertising the program itself. If you are like a creator and stuff like that, especially YouTubers who are doing covers and stuff where you're not necessarily, your videos aren't getting monetized. I mean, our reference, of course, is Mr. Rainer Van Dale, who's a great YouTuber and does a lot of videos. But
who's that? Never heard of him.
He's just some fella.
Rainer Van Dale.
Rainer Van Dale.
Yeah. Rainer
Vandal.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, never heard of him.
But his drum covers never get monetized because they're covers of other bands, songs that already exist. So that all that money's going straight to the artist, which he's okay with because they create the song and allowed him to do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But as someone who wants to keep making these videos, they cost him money. He has to pay for a studio, has to pay, and also takes the time out of his day to edit and to actually learn the songs and stuff. So
they don't just drop out of the Graham Norton, do they?
No. So they need the. It helps to have a little bit of money coming in just to kind of fund it. So if someone perhaps loved Rainer's last set of drum covers and want to see him do more, they might want to go down that route to sort of try and fund that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's a great thing to do.
That's the kind of the economy that we're in right now.
Yeah.
If you are enjoying somebody's content, like the Harley and Josh show, just rating and liking, subscribing, all of that stuff is so helpful because it just helps to get more data showing that you're doing all right. And if somebody like Patreon wants to take a risk in loaning you something, then they've got something to back you up. So whatever content that you like listening to, watching, reading online, make sure you give them a little bit of like and subscribing,
Yeah.
including this one.
Yeah, please do. 5
So,
stars.
Harley, let's do your section, hey? Shall we? Thing a fan report about this morning. Harley.
Oh, Jingle Harley.
Oh, what did you think about Harley?
So I've had a big thing this weekend, and I've been caught with it twice. And I'm one of those people.
Heroin again.
No, not this time.
Okay, be responsible, guys.
Yeah, please, don't touch it. So with our gig on Friday, we drove straight there. We got there, set up, did our first set, and I really was struggling because I hadn't had time to eat. And so when we sort of start, I did have something to eat beforehand, but not a great deal. And it really did affect my playing.
So what's it made you think about?
Well, my thing was, how can we combat that? I'm sure other people may have the same problem, where, you need to make sure that you're well fueled for a gig. It's quite an intense workout, doing a gig. You're standing up for 2 hours at least, dancing, playing, singing, which is, it's quite a cardiovascular thing. I mean, it involves heavy breathing. It has to be a cardiovascular thing. So you need to make sure you've got a lot of fuel in you and stuff like that. However, if you're singing, surely there's certain things that you should and shouldn't be eating and drinking before you sing. I don't know if you've got any experience on this kind of thing. I know a friend of mine, Matt White, always doesn't touch dairy on the day that he's singing because that can clog up your throat and make you a bit phlegmy and not have that kind of that clear tone that you're striving for.
Yeah.
So do you have any kind of strict rules in terms of like pre-gig dietary setup?
I should, but I don't.
No.
I always make sure I'm well fed before a gig nowadays. I used to be really bad at it, and then there would just be points where I'd get really lightheaded and almost pass out on stage because I just don't have the energy for it. We used to be like, wolf down a subway half an hour before you get on stage. And I find myself still doing stuff like that, but less, just from noticing how much it can knock you. So there is a thing of like, don't not eat, good old double negatives. But don't cram it in right before the show, because the amount of times that I've been, rushing around for, 2 to 4 hours before we actually go on stage, loading everything up, you just don't remind yourself to eat, and so you'll be on stage. Just before you're on stage, you'll cram something in. Like, especially for a wedding, they're just like, we've got some scraps left over. Do you want some? I'm just like, and then you'll get on stage, you'll start singing, and the amount of times that I have barfed in my mouth during a gig and had to play it off, it's been gross.
Oh, mate.
And that's mostly down to just eating the wrong thing and too close to the show.
Yeah.
Its timing is a big deal with this.
I do not struggle with that so much. However, I'm not so much as a singer. I think if you're singing, it's even more important.
You're just pushing it up.
Yeah.
Because it's your diaphragm and that's just moving around your stomach. And it just be like...
That's what happened at the beginning of the show. That's a very interesting point. I got caught out at the gig last night because I always keep a packet of crisps and like some peanut bars or whatever in the van for when I need it. But because I'd broken my window and I took my other van, I got to the gig and went, my emergency supply box is at home in my other van. So I got caught out there. But that's something that I've kind of used to kind of counteract, is make sure that there's emergency foods in the glove box at all times in that regard, because it's quite an easy thing to do, especially if you're driving to every gig. You've always got that there.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, so dairy is a good thing. But there's lots of different stories that people swap around. Rich Webb, hey man, always says to eat. He says Chinese takeaway is really good.
Oh, right.
Beforehand, he says the MSG is just loosens you up if you're singing.
Well, fair.
Well, I don't know how where the science is in that, but I love Chinese food, so I'm going to take that up.
Yeah, I'm inclined to like that just because Chinese food is always good.
So milk, yogurt, cheese, and other dairy is bad.
Fizzy drinks.
Yes,
Which
yeah.
I know will upset anyone
Make
who
you
likes to
belch.
have a pint when you're at
Yeah.
a gig, but
I mean, it's a good idea. Just I say this, and after I broke my rule last Thursday and I had a beer on stage, but drinking at a gig I just think is a little bit inappropriate sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you're treating it like a professional thing and you're expecting to be paid in any other job, you wouldn't be allowed to drink on the job. So
we've been fairly lucky in regards. Well, I say lucky, but the amount of weddings we've done and we've turned up, and before we've even got through the door, the bride or the groom would come up to us and go, "Can I get you guys a drink?" And we're like, "Yeah, water." And he's like, "No, I'll get you a pint."
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. And then it kind of gives it an okay, but still.
But there's still that thing. So fizzy drinks. Here I've got this sort of singer's diet little thing I found.
Oh, wonderful.
Thing I found about this morning. Sugar without fiber or protein to balance it out can also cause you to wear out very quickly once the sugar rush is past. So there's a lot of that in some fizzy drinks and in pints and things like this. So yeah, you may think that you've got some energy, but halfway through the set you'll be gone.
Yeah.
Caffeine the same as well.
Yeah.
It's also a diuretic, so it makes you want to wee more. So on stage can make you just go, ugh. So if you're drinking way too much coffee beforehand, it's not a great thing. Yeah,
No,
chocolate's bad for singing.
No.
Chocolate's bad for singing.
Why?
It's a triple threat. It naturally contains caffeine.
Yeah, but
It dry you out and constricts the muscles around your vocal cords. It also has an acid reflux trigger, which has happened to me. And
like chocolate.
No. Usually contains a lot of sugar.
Josh,
Yeah.
what chocolate?
Well, you do sing. You do backing vocals, so just you can't.
I did have a chocolate bar before my set last
The
night.
more I tell you this, the more you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Fried foods, deep fried or prepared.
Sorry, Rich.
Yeah. A lot of oil tends to gunk up your vocal cords with too much fat. I think if you guys just do this, go,
Yeah.
like you can feel that you've got a
Feel
lot
it
of
on your throat,
stuff on your
can't you?
throat
Yeah.
there. It's there, so it's another heartburn trigger as well. Ice water.
Ice water.
It really does constrict your vocal cords.
That's actually, yeah. Elliot did say this a little while ago, and I was like, that blew my mind. But,
yeah. So yeah, it's just dumb. Like because the amount of years that I was doing it, I was like, I can't sing properly today. But then I realized, Rich Webb told me this. Another one, just don't drink cold water if you're going to sing because you can't reach the notes because you can't use your muscles properly.
He's an infinite vat of knowledge, isn't he?
Yeah, yes.
We should get him on the show again.
Exactly.
I want him back.
So there's a couple other things here, just quickly before we finish it up. Alcohol, it says, like caffeine, alcohol will simply dry out your throat.
Right, yeah.
Because it doesn't actually, hydrate you. Spicy foods, because of heartburn. But it says don't eat nothing. So nothing at all. Don't eat
happy
nothing.
in between, innit?
You don't want to starve yourself before your session or show. You want to make sure you are full but not overly stuffed. Singing cake takes a lot of energy, so don't make the mistake of skimping on your meal before the show. So yeah, make sure you eat, guys, but don't just eat any old thing.
Yeah, be very
Veggies,
aware. Yeah.
things that have low fat, low oil. Well, not so much low fat, but low sugar and low oil content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a thing people say about like
Low sugar.
Before you do radio, you should eat an apple because it gets rid of thatness.
Yeah, true.
I don't know, but
Bananas are really good for calming heartburn, I've found.
Oh, right.
Really
yeah.
good. They're sort of very neutral. They're very alkaline, so they're very good for acid.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so there we go. So there you go. If you guys have got some more tips, please let us know. Write in.
Yeah, we'll bring it back next week.
Yes, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for what you've been waiting for. Time. Yes, Harley.
Yeah.
I'm playing at Waterstones this week.
You play at Waterstones?
I'm playing at Waterstones, the bookshop in Ipswich.
Amazing.
This Thursday at 7:00 for a book launch. I've completely forgotten a name. Oh no, that's not good. I'm going to go find it now. But yeah, if you like your literature and you like your lockabillies, literature billies are around this Thursday at 7:00.
Nice. I am playing at the Gardener's Arms on Saturday.
Very nice.
With Chart Attack.
I've got that on the list.
See?
Yeah, good. Gardener's Arms. What time? Saturday at...
I'm assuming it's going to be about 9 o'clock start.
9 o'clock,
I need to pop by and confirm deets.
It's Sophie Green this book launch is for. So she'll be there reading it and she'll be also signing stuff from The Haunting of Pelican City. So yeah, cheers to Meg Burrows for booking us for that one.
Amazing.
So the next thing we've got down are Zesty and Sandcastle Jesus, Fleas, and the amazing music we played earlier by Our Quiet Friends. That's this Friday, 13th of September at the John Peel Centre for Creative Arts at 7:30.
Cool. We also have on Friday, the 13th, spooky, of September, we have British Tanya Sitotombe.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, you made... Oh, okay.
I'll give you the hard one.
Ross Grow, Max Tatum, Leon Helsby, Galsey, Roots,
Scoob.
Matt and the Hat, Susie Kramer, and Refined at the Queen Street Brew House from 5 o'clock.
Colchester. That's nice. Yeah. Roots are going to be there. Mental. It's in Questlove, right?
Yeah.
No. Eclipse. So Steve Mortimer.
Yes.
And Adelia going to be there at the Swan and Hedgehog.
Right.
This Friday at 9 o'clock. If you want that place to stay open, get yourself down there.
Please do. Yeah. Yeah. It's great that's back running again. Mm-hmm. So we have also going over onto Saturday, 14th of September, we have Impilo and the Naked French at Three Wise Monkeys in Ipswich, starting from 8:30.
That's amazing. And I'm not doing PA, so I might be able to actually go and watch that. Actually, no, wait. I'm at a wedding. I can't play. But yeah, it's been a while since Impilo have played live locally. So if you love that band, get yourself down to Three Wise Monkeys. And
Definitely.
the Naked French are great. We've played them on this show before as well. So
Yeah.
they're wonderful. So we've also got Ghosts of Men
Yeah.
launching a video with Horrible Dolphins. And I mean, that's an amazing lineup, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Fashoda Crisis. That is this Saturday at Coda Colchester at 7 o'clock.
Awesome. We have Chart Attack. Oh, it's me. I've already said that.
Yeah, you
Chart
have.
Attack at the Gardener's Arms.
So
Headlong.
it says 9 o'clock here.
Yeah, we go.
Double
9
tap.
o'clock.
Double tap, so people remember.
Yeah.
Flames of the Lizard Birds,
Amazing name.
the Interesting Times Gang, and Banco are here at the Smokehouse this Saturday at 7:30. So, that's the September the 14th here in Ipswich.
Amazing. Yeah.
The last one, what's that? Go
The
on.
last one. So
What's
we
that?
have Sun on the 15th of September at Hamford View Tea Room.
What are you talking about?
Is that what's on there?
No.
Oh, wait. I've got the whole bit above it, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm packed.
Sun is the
Sunday,
day.
innit?
That's Sunday. Okay, Harley. You didn't eat before the show, did you?
No, I didn't. Okay.
No.
I got this.
You got this? Yeah.
Okay. So we've got the Lockabillys duo
Yay!
at the Hamford View Centre.
That's in Harwich.
Harwich, nice.
So yeah, that's going to be really fun. I can't wait. Yeah,
I'll go down the docks and put my ear out, see if I can hear you
yeah,
over
you'd
the,
probably be able to
over
hear
the
us.
sea.
But yeah, it's just going to be Rich and I. They've got an outdoor stage. It's a vintage tea room, and
Awesome.
they've got loads of records all over the wall. So if you like your rockabilly and you like your vintage stuff, you got to check that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yes, it's been great.
for joining in today. Thank you very much to Rich and Rob for your comments
Yeah.
on Facebook. Yeah, you
Hey.
can interact with us all over our Facebook and our socials. Just let us know what you want us to talk about.
Hashtag bin bag window guy.
Hashtag, but it needs to be hashtag.
Hashtag.
Hashtag trash bag.
Hashtag trash bag. That's
Yeah,
me.
let's play some music, shall we?
Yeah.
To finish us off, this is a wonderful, wonderful track by our good friends Murray, Bebe, Gav, and Raina. This is Impilo with Due Time. We've been the Harley and Josh Show. Enjoy your weekend and your week. We'll see you at a gig sometime, eh?
Bye.
I don't really mind what we're getting into, long as I'm with